Hey, welcome.
Hi everyone.
Happy Life Results Book Group with me.
The author Stacy McPherson.
And my husband, my sidekick Jason. All right, so we're doing a section called Placebo, and it's in stage 3, The Hero. And I'm really excited about this section. It just has one paragraph, but there is so much to say about placebos. It was really instrumental for me in understanding a lot in my up journey, because placebo was something that I already understood. Well, I didn't really understand it, but the concept, I understood I was familiar with the concept. And so then I could use that as a bridge to add my new learning and new awareness about my emotions and about what causes what. And so we'll start reading this.
I'm familiar with rocket science too.
Yeah?
In the same way, like familiar with.
Oh, you're familiar with yeah.
I've heard of it. I've seen rockets.
Like last summer, I went to the campus on Harvard campus. And
You went to Harvard?
I went to Harvard.
Oh my gosh, you went to Harvard! I never knew.
Same idea. Oh, I saw that book. I saw that movie. Just the title.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I really didn't go to Harvard. Even with things that we could easily consider to be outside the realm of the conscious mind, there is evidence indicating otherwise.
For example, when a person takes a sugar pill while consciously thinking it is medicine, somehow they can receive the same healing that a person taking the real medication would get.
There are many more examples, but one is enough to illustrate how the lines between control, consciousness, awareness, reality, and influence have yet to be drawn. Let's make sure that's it. Yep. Okay, so I wanted you to tell about the study with the poison oak.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I won't be able to give you the details on where the study is. I read it, I think, in a book called The Happiness Advantage. But they took people who were allergic to poison ivy, people who were not allergic to poison ivy, and then they do some weird things when they study. People sign up for and volunteer for some weird things. But anyway, they would tell people something was poison ivy that was not, and the reverse, and people would have the reaction as though it was poisonous when it wasn't, and they would not have the reaction when it was poisonous,
and they thought
it was not.
Yeah.
So it was just an illustration of the power of the mind.
And people who already had the reaction. It wasn't people who didn't know if they were allergic or not.
Yes, these are people who knew they were or were not, and they had the opposite reaction of what they normally would have.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit too more about the placebo effect and how it's so fascinating, because when doctors do these studies, they have to rule out the effect of the placebo. They acknowledge that it's there so much that it comes into play in how they interpret the data. There are rules about it. Like, you can't just ignore the placebo effect. You actually have to observe it, measure it, monitor it, and get rid of what you think is a placebo effect in your results.
If they can't beat the placebo, then they can't, it affects whether or not they can license it. It's like they're actually competing with the placebo.
Yes, they're competing with the placebo.
It's like,
because it's as high as 30, not as high as, but it's typically around 30%. 30% of the people who take the medicine,
that's crazy.
They think they got the healing.
Well, they got the healing.
They did.
They think they got it from medicine.
They got it from medicine, but they got the healing. Yeah. I wonder if people can get side effects from placebos.
I actually, I don't remember if it was a study or just a theory on that yet.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they got the side effect of the medicine they thought they were taking, then they didn't. They were taking a placebo.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very common. Doctors are very aware of it, and it's when you kind of break it apart and look at it and say, what's happening here? Where is the healing coming from?
And are we going into how this applies? Are you going to tie this in the next section, or because that you did all those lives on the placebos, like what we use as placebos, or what we could use as placebos,
Yeah.
both, right?
Yeah. Okay, so in our videos, we talk about boosts. We talk about, there's another word for
Crutches,
crutches,
boosts.
yeah. And placebo, I use all three of those words interchangeably. So what he's alluding to is this, that we can use placebos in the kind of middle stages of our up journey, where you know it's a placebo, meaning you know it doesn't make you happy, but sometimes when you feel unhappy, you need a crutch. You need something to blame your happiness on temporarily until you can fully own your power, fully get control of the joystick. And so what's fun to do is whenever you're believing that you're getting happiness from something external, to call yourself out on it, label it as a placebo as much as possible, but don't feel like you can't be just as happy as you are.
If it's working.
Yeah. Don't get rid of any of your placebos. Just kind of gradually change the locus of control and take it back from the thing. And calling it a placebo, it's a playful way of saying, yes, I'm getting the happiness from that thing. And I know that thing doesn't deliver the happiness, but it's still working. Yeah, so, and no one can tell you what your placebos are, because it's what you're doing. It's your belief system about the thing. I had a friend saying, do you think sleep is a placebo? And it's individual. It's how you believe the thing affects you. And anything that you currently believe is giving you joy in your life, just realize that we're not saying you have to get rid of that thing. Like, that's what I first thought when I first thought about placebos, because I thought, first I need to stop taking them in order to
I like that. I have to stop taking the placebo in order to stop expecting them to make me happy.
Yes.
Or to fix whatever it is.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
But you don't. You can keep all of them in your life. You can enjoy the results of the placebo as much as you want. Just start to take control back and figure out where the happiness actually comes from.
And then as you get stronger, you move past the placebos.
Yeah.
You do move past them.
Yes, and you can do it in your internal thought processes, and then it will become effortless eventually. So you'll stop looking for them. I had one where kind of toward the end of my fasts, because every day I fast, I would, if my emotions were kind of unstable, or if I was feeling kind of blah, or I felt like I needed more energy or something, I would think, if I could just eat food, I would feel better. But then I started to try to take back that emotional, I was giving the food an emotional, like, it will make me feel better. And it wasn't just energy, it was perceptions and emotions, which have much more power over our energy level than anything else, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And when we say move past the placebo, it doesn't mean you have to get rid of it in your life.
Yeah.
It means the placebo isn't in control of how you feel anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't have food, obviously.
Yeah, and one thing to be curious about when we talk about placebos is to see when you're about to do something that you would label as a placebo, kind of take an internal audit of your emotional state and say, is there some lack here that I feel like the placebo will fill, and then address that.
Well, yeah, why do you, like, if you examine the lens, is there really a lack there? Or is it a lack that you're telling a story about? That's
where it's at.
Anyway, all right.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's placebos.
Okay, talk to you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.